1956 to 2012. Why am I saying that, you ask? That's the birth years and the death of my grandfather, chap. I want to make this video to contribute and say happy birthday to my grandfather. My grandfather, when I was young, I was like young in 2012, and I was getting really close with my grandfather at that age. So as I was growing up, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, I'd be going over to my grandfather's house a lot. My mom, she did the absolute best she can to make sure that we had that type of bond together with my little sister and I, and we go over to his house like in weekends and shit like that after school and stuff. And we had that type of bond where it's like it was almost unbreakable, to be honest with you. And it was one of the best humbling experiences I really had in my life. I remember when I was going over to his house, we used to like watch old TV shows that he grew up watching and old movies that he grew up watching. He used to have like an old telephone. You pick up, dial, boop, 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 and we use that phone to call. I used to call my mom through that phone sometimes, and it was still working and around that time frame. And this is like before electronics and shit like that became like an actual big thing, you know. And I'm glad I was able to experience some shit like that, you know. So I wanted to make this video and let y'all know your boy got some family members that passed in his life. I'll let you know that right now. And my grandfather, he is the first one that ever struck my heart. And it was the first person in my life where I actually learned that your loved ones can go, you know. And I remember this very deeply in my soul because in June is my birth month. So in June 12th, 2012, got the sad news that my grandfather passed away. And my mother, Mama Dukes, I remember we was at the old crib and she started busting, crying and things like that. And I think her siblings gave her the news of what happened, and he died at the hospital. So my mom broke down in tears and she gave the news to my sister and I. And honestly, that's the first time in my life I ever got depressed. I never knew what depression was at a young age, but at that moment, from there, losing a loved one that was close to you like that was the first time in my life I've ever experienced real depression. And I remember that I went to school. I think it was in the weekend, if I remember correctly, that what happened. And I went to school, and I was out of it. I was out of it, bro. And I wasn't acting like I normally was and shit like that. And the kids in school and also my teacher at school realized that. You feel me? And they asked me if I was okay. I told them what happened with my grandfather. They felt sorry for the loss and shit like that. And I've always keep that particular, the first ever heartbreak, or that first heartbreak, the first depression, and I took that to my heart very, very deeply because I never felt something like this before, you know. And when it comes onto childhood, if you remember some crazy shit in your childhood, that sticks for you for the rest of your life. You heard me? That shit sticks to you, gangy. And turns out, for me, a lost loved one was my tragic depression. So over the years, I've always remembered my grandfather. I always would love to see him again one day, and I always would like to hear from him at least one more time every single day, or every once in a while, because my memories are very, very sharp and very, very strong, and I could just hear him sometimes, you know. Like I could hear his voice and everything like that. Because I remember he has his certain distinct voice that he got. And it's like it's a little raspy, but it's not too raspy, and it's deep as well, you know. And like that type of voice, I will never forget it. I will never forget it, chat. And I will always remember his voice. I'll always remember his face, because my family tell me that I look just like my granddaddy. My family tell me every single time I look like my grandfather, and that is a good spot, in my heart, that I have some type of heritage with him. And it dawns down to me that I have some of his traits, because my grandfather, he had he had that swag, you feel me? Man, he was the type of person that he'd be pulling girls left and right all over the place, bro. And he was that type of dude that he was chill, laid back. He's seen here pimping and doing this thing, you heard me? And I'm glad I was able to have some of his traits. I'm glad, and I'm happy, and I'm proud that I do, you know? And to this day, I always still have that spot in my heart that I'm like, damn, still a side of my heart that I'm really sad, I'm really hurt that he's gone. Like one of my deep thoughts I always really have, that always is gonna stick with me for the rest of my life, is like, I wish I have at least one more conversation with my grandfather. At least I wish I had that one last conversation, just telling my fucking love, you know. I always wanted to see me grow and shit like that, because he never see me as becoming an adult. He never see me graduating and things like that, and shit and things like that hurts a nigga really bad, dude. Hurts a nigga real bad. And I will always keep on marching for him, and I'll keep on walking through this type of hard step, because once again, I never felt depression until my grandfather was gone. So just by itself, I'll do the best I can to keep on marching no matter what, and he always gonna be in my memories. Always. He always will gonna be my memories. And how I know as well, as you can see, chat, right here, this is him right here, right on my forearm. This is the first tattoo I got. It's like a 2-part tattoo, but if you could see it right, that's what it looks like right here, chat. It's like a 2-part tattoo. The words I got these were my first tattoo, which is the words. The second part of my tattoo, which I call them two tattoos, but it's technically one. This is a full masterpiece, but the whole entire thing is like the full tattoo of my grandfather on my arm. You see me? You see that, chat? And his name is Howard. His name is Howard Brooks. Howard Wine Brooks at that. And he's always gonna be on my arm. He's always gonna be a reminder that he's gonna be stuck with me to the rest of my life, chap. And these gonna be one of a couple different stories about my family members, and I'll make sure I try to like do like each individual, like a different family member for each individual videos. But I just wanted to let you guys know that living proof, even if it's through the camera or whatnot, I want to let you guys know that I got some loved ones that has been going to, okay? And we always gonna have that one special family member that stick to us right here and that's been gone, and we ain't never gonna forget them, you know? And I also want to let you guys know that I'm there with you, alright? I'm right there with you. And I hope that you guys will go over the heartbreak. You guys will march through the heartbreak, march through the hard times, and march through the condolences. Okay? I just want to do a quick video and acknowledge my grandfather, Howard Wine Brooks. I love you, grandfather. I will always miss you. And I will see you. I'll see you again soon.